Hi guys, so in this video we will see how to create our Crud API without using Mongodb, and in next video we will use Mongodb as well. So that will be the complete series for our Crud API. So let's get started with this basic API. So what I will do, I will move on to the terminal and select git bash and initialize our package.json file by typing this command. I have explained all this stuff in our first video, so if you have not watched that video, I will paste down the link in our description so you can watch that from there. In previous video I have told you about how to start our server, so I will paste down that link as well. So without wasting our time, we will move on to the package.json file and we will install Express, Nodejs. So these two are needed as of now. So we will type in the command. We will make up a file index.js or server.js, whatever you need, and we will type in nodemon index.js. So let's get started. We will require Express, and we will create an instance of Express. So in this video we will just take up a basic array to store our values and manipulate our values. So in next video we will use MongoDB to create our API. So first I wanted you guys to have a basic overview about how to create up a basic API without using MongoDB. Let's name that section. So our array has been created and we will need a body parser as well. So what body parser do is, it will process all the data sent in HTTP request body in our Thunder client or Postman, whatever you need for checking up the APIs. So this is our body parser, and we will create up a get request first. So let's name that contacts and a request and response. Response.send, and we will send all the details of contacts mentioned in the array. And we will name our port number as 8000. So let's check if this is working fine. We will click on npm start. Okay, so our server is running on port 8000. Let's move on to our browser. So it is showing cannot get. So this is not an error. We have to type contacts as well in our URL because we have named it for get request as /contacts. So we will press it enter, and you see all the details mentioned in the array have been reflected in our get request. So this was the get request. So what I will do, I will create up a post request as well. App.post, we will name it same URL, contacts, and a request and response. So what we will do, we will create up a variable name, and we will take this name from request.body.name, and we will push all the details in our array. So let me explain you this code. So what it do is, it will just increase the IDs automatically, like we have mentioned ID1, ID2. So when we will select up the name element from our request.body.name, so it will automatically increase of the ID when we will push the name in our contacts. Okay, so what we will do, we will just type toString, we will convert it to string, and we will pass this name here, and we will now send the response as success, and we will select up the message as data added. So what it will do, it will just tell us if the data is added successfully or not. So we will move on to Thunder client. You can select Postman as well, but this is the basic API tester, so I will now test our get request first. So our get request is working fine. We will duplicate it, and we will select post request, and in body section we will select JSON, and we will select this ID, as 3, and our name, let's say Virat. So we will check if it is working fine. Okay, so you see this message, success true, data is added. So let's check in our get request if that is added or not. Okay, so the data is added. Let's move on to delete request. So in this we have to take the ID as well in our params, so as to identify our variable. So I will take up a variable let ID, and we will take it from params, request.params.id. I know guys, this is a bit confusing at first, but as you will move on with this, you will learn all the details. So I will just check if the success is true or not. So what I have done is I have created up a variable id, and we will take this id from request.params.id. Okay, and we have taken up a new variable, new contacts, and we are filtering out the contents of our contacts array which we have created in the top, and we are taking up the parameter element el. I hope you have done all these things in React, in map function or filter function. These are higher order functions. So we will just push on this all the information of new contacts after filtering out in our contacts. So let's move on to our Thunder client, and we will duplicate this. Let's select delete request. So let's delete third variable which we have created as Virat. Okay, so you see data deleted successfully. So let's move on to our get request and see if that is deleted or not. Yes, that is deleted successfully. So let's move finally to our put request. So this was the delete request, and this is the put request. So I will type on app.put. So guys, creating up APIs in Express is a bit easy right now, apart from as compared to Node. So we will do the same method. We will take on a variable id, and this id will come from request.params.id. We will take on a name, and we will take on a variable index, and we will select our contacts array, and we will find out the index. So when we will create up the APIs in Mongodb, this put and delete request is a bit easy there, because they have a separate method like find by id and update. But right now we don't have MongoDB, so we are just using up an array. So what we will do, we will use the spread operator, and we will push all the details in it. And we will just select on the response.send and success true. If all the things will work fine, then our message will print updated. Okay, so as you remember, we have deleted the third element, so we will post again this data, and we will try to get. Okay, so all the things are working fine. Now let's try up the put request. So we will try to name it as Virat Kohli. Select put, and our ID will be 3 and name Virat Kohli. Okay, updated successfully. So we have checked through get request as well. So our data has been updated successfully. So guys, this was the basic API created without MongoDB. In next video we will create up the APIs with MongoDB.